Welcome to another episode of Chaotic Harmony, episode 126. I am your host today, Sasha, and today I am joined by the Chaotic Harmony legend himself, Jonathan.
Hello, hello. The legend. That's a curious one. I'll take it. I don't know if I'm legendary, but I'll take it. Speaking of legends, forget it. Just keep on going. Just keep on going.
Okay.
We'll
And
be here for a while.
we're also joined by our incredible social media producer, soon to be legend, Jasmine.
Good to be here. Hello.
Hello. How has October been treating y'all so far?
Pretty good.
Sleep deprived, my dudes.
Yeah,
Sleep
definitely
deprived.
sleep deprived, but I'm enjoying cold weather. I need the cold weather. I hate
Ooh.
the
Oh no, the cold is lovely. Yeah, but like seriously, it's only 6 days, and like yesterday, I was up till like 1 a.m. getting stuff ready for your session, Sasha.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, that and also other things as well. It's sleep deprived, but I am in agreement. It is almost. I've been wearing this baseball cap for a while, and I'm ready for beanie weather. So
Almost beanie season. All right. Well, before we get into the thick of it, this is Chaotic Harmony, the show where we talk about the joys, struggles, and all things adjacent to the elementary music room. A bit of housekeeping. In our last episode, we had the wonderful Christine Devane join us, a children's author that just released her debut book, Elephant Beach. If you haven't found it yet, it's time to find it. Next week, we're going to have another guest joining us, Ashley Brown, Woodside. She'll be sharing her journey as a teacher and talking about the necessity of touch. Curious what that means? Join us next week and find out. All right, today is a kind of controversial topic.
controversial.
I think it can be. We're going to be talking about performances. So in the elementary classroom, these can be they have so many different forms, like showcases, concerts, maybe just like grade level performances, informances, like a single performance at a school-wide event. So my question to you, friends, is what type of performance opportunities do the students at your school or in your community have?
Well, my students, every quarter we try to have something. And this is mostly for the performing groups. So I have two choirs. Oh, sorry, I used to. I have one choir now and two concert bands. And so we have our winter music concert, we have a spring music concert as well. For those performing groups, we also have a variety show, which is now in quarter one, which was ridiculously busy. Do not recommend. Especially not during, just too much. And then also we're having a musical this year. Since we have a new theater teacher, which is awesome. And so performances are really like I really like it. And we have a lot of opportunities in that regards. We also have a VAPA showcase or VAPA festival, should I say, amongst our district. I've shared that a couple times on this podcast. And so I like to bring in either my concert band or my choir to that. We also have at my school, there are buddies between upper grade and lower grade classes. And so I've tried to have this consistent, but having at the end of every quarter or maybe once or twice a year, having the buddies showcase a piece that they've done that quarter or that past quarter.
That's
So
very
that way
cute.
it's not necessarily on
Nice.
stage, but at least it's for people,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love the buddies.
Mhm.
Buddy system all the way.
Did you have buddies in your elementary school yourself or no?
No. But that's because I went to several elementary schools because my hometown is so small that each elementary school only had 2 grades. So
Oh.
it was like K1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh.
We're all at different sites. So like having a buddy class wasn't as impactful when it wasn't like, a lower grade, like a primary grade and then like an upper grade. It was just 2 grades at each school.
Wow.
Oh, nice. That's very interesting. I've never really
Yeah.
heard of that as like a system.
I thought that was normal until I went into education and was like, oh, you mean all the grades are at one site? How interesting is that? Yeah, it was a kind of eye-opening for me.
And if you will listen to Genesis episode, they have K to 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
incredible. All right, John, I interrupted you. Did you have anything else you wanted to add about the performances at your
Uh,
site?
just note that we have a lot of them.
Mhm.
But I think I shared everything I needed to share. Except
Amazing.
Jasmine, do you have buddies or no? Just out of curiosity.
We don't, but I make it happen, I guess. We have a
Oh.
lot of like my kinder classes, because a lot of like my performances, if they aren't with like my ensemble groups, such as like a band, choir, orchestra. So if they're not playing, if it's not them, a lot of teachers will come up to me and say, "Hi, I'd like to have a performance with blank." Like I know a lot of my sped groups, we have informances for the families where they come in and hear them sing. Or for my
Can
kinders,
you touch on what I'm so sorry, but could you touch on what an informant is for maybe those of us who don't know what an informant is versus a performance?
yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. For me, like how I think of informances is they're very much less formal. It's just like showing what we've been working on, less of like the formalities of a concert where they're walking up or applauding. Like the families just come in and see what we've been working on, and I kind of explain like why this is important or why we're incorporating this into like music class, and they get to see the students kind of in their own natural zones versus okay, we're performing this, here's our program, it's going to be strictly this, where I can kind of change things up depending on behaviors I might be seeing or needs that need to be met, um, while families in the room, because that's for at least specifically in like my sped classrooms, a change in routine could make it or break it with a lot of students.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
keeping everything consistent even with families in the room, and kind of just like explaining step by step of like what we're singing today and if they'd love to sing along, and like often the families will come join us and sing along,
That's cool.
so it's very interesting. But for buddies, I we have a leadership team on at my school, so the fifth graders are allowed to apply to be on a leadership team. So whenever the younger grades or my sped classes have a informant or a performance coming up, they're often joining them in tandem. So I teach them ahead of time what they're working on, and they come in with them and are like their buddy, like they'll pair up with someone else. And I always tell them like you need to give them some encouragement. Like this is their first time performing. They're probably super duper nervous. So like it's really cute to see like fifth graders be like, "Oh my gosh, you did so good.
Aw.
Like you should be so proud of yourself. You did amazing. Listen to
That's
your singing voice. You
awesome.
sound beautiful." Like it's so nice, and I think it's wonderful for fifth grade to have that mentorship kind of
Yeah,
opportunities.
that's such a cool like leadership opportunity, keeps them engaged, have something to look
Mhm.
forward to. That's I love it. And also your description of informants was perfect. Just,
Pristine.
it's like yes, how I would have described it as well. At my school site, I have gone through a million different ways of performances, but I will talk about kind of our most common ones. So, uh, my after school or additional, classes. We do a tree lighting ceremony with my ukulele club in the um, winter, and then we have a district-wide elementary. Well, actually, it's a district-wide honor choir. That happens in March or April, depending. I think it's April this year. And then our fifth grade students actually will get to sing the national anthem at a Padres game, uh, which is a really, really cool opportunity. We're really fortunate to be so close to a major league team. Okay, they did their best.
I'm sorry. I know the video won't see this producer, but my goodness, we got some Dodger fan hate or love and hate, Padre hate in this crew. Anyways,
All right. I'm astounded that I know baseball. You can thank my husband for that. Yes, he's a huge baseball fan. But so that's a really cool opportunity for our fifth graders, and that's a district-wide performance as well. So I think at our last performance, it was in May of last year, or of this year of 2025. I think it was close to 300 students, which was pretty intense.
Wow. Is this like just elementary? Is it mixed? Is it like what is it?
So this year it was elementary and then one high school.
Mm.
In the past, it has just been elementary. And then also in the past, on a year I didn't go, it was elementary, middle, and high school. I think it just depends on the the dates and who is available. We're trying to do a lot more community singing, and that's one way that we can do it. So those are like the big performances. In the past, I have done so many different things, but this year, my students are getting one performance. They get to perform at our flag salute, which is our Student of the Month assembly. It's right at the beginning. My fifth graders went on the 26th of September. Got them out of the way because, I don't know if I can get them to sing in May. And they did really
Why
good.
is that? Why is that?
You know what? They're just so mature that they can't handle any other songs.
Fair.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing the types of performances you tend to do at your schools, within your communities. My question to you now is, how do you determine what types of performances your students have, and have you always done the same type? So what determines the performances you're currently doing?
Are you talking about like the general performance or like the specific pieces that are being performed or?
Yes, you choose.
Yes.
Oh,
No.
I know for me. Oh, yeah, if it's okay. I
Yeah,
know for me,
please.
it's a lot of the performances I try to do in tandem with other schools. Like I'll often try and hit up the middle school or the high schools around me and be like, "Hi, we'd love to have you like perform with us. Like this is what we've been working on. Would it be great to just like have some middle school and some high schoolers come by and like even just pop in and visit or like give some words of encouragement." But also just like I try and listen to my classroom teachers a lot. Like a lot of my classroom teachers love performances and sometimes they have really great ideas but aren't really sure how to make them appear. So sometimes they'll be like, I really want to sing this song or I really want this kind of theme performance going on. Like my kindergarten teachers were like, we really want to have like a winter sing where they're singing winter songs and not just Christmas songs, but
Mm-hmm.
we aren't really sure of like what could they sing or like what they're able to sing or if this will be too
Right.
complicated for them. So then it's often like something I do in like collaboration with other teachers and seeing. And I think that's where a lot of them pop up. And if they end up really successful, I'm like, oh yeah, we could do this again next year. And if they crash and burn, I'm like, oh, okay, well, we gotta back to the drawing board.
Very cool. I love the collaboration and just making community bigger than just the music classroom. It's incredible.
Mhm.
Incredible.
Yeah, we also do have I forgot to mention, we do one with our middle school and high schools for concert band exclusively around
Mhm.
February or January. And it is always amazing to have us perform alongside those groups because the kids get to see, oh, music is beyond just what we do at this school site. It could be bigger. Yeah, so I'm with you there. I love the collaborative elements. I guess for me, Sasha, so are you referring to like selection of pieces? You said
Um,
yes.
I said yes on however you choose them, but we can we will start just with how you choose your pieces. Sure, let's do that.
I will say that it is very contingent upon where our students are at. And so I guess backpedal. For the winter concert, it's pretty much like it is about winter pieces. Snow, uh, people sing a piece from Frozen. It also, we give opportunity for kids to sing their own solos or get into small groups and perform whatever they want to. So if they want to perform a religious
Wow.
piece, by all means, go for it. Like that's their choice.
Yeah.
And so anything that's winter themed, we accept. It's always fun. We used to have our variety show after the winter music concert, and it's always funny to see kids wanting to sing Feliz Navidad for the variety show. I was like, bro, that passed. But when it comes to the spring music concert, though, it is kind of based on where are we. I try to think about where the groups are personally. Like for concert band, it's like pedagogically, where are we? But like for a choir, where are we emotionally? Like I referenced this earlier in early podcast. There was a year where we had a coworker who passed away, and we had kind of had our spring music concert as a tribute concert for that teacher. We also another year, a lot of it had so like, I noticed there was a lot of issues with social emotional wellness, and so singing a piece of "Sleeping at Last" "You Are Enough," and so finding pieces that kind of correlate are the students, and thankfully by the spring music concert, I kind of have a gauge of where they're at. I also try to ensure that for choir, I know I'm focusing on choir because I feel like I was hired by my first principal very much because of she wanted a concert
Choir.
band and also a choir. And choir was,
Wow.
yeah, she was very intentional. I really appreciate it. Emiko Nakamura, if you're listening to this, I don't know if you are, but if you are, thank you so much. But I was, lost my train of thought.
You were hired very intentionally for concert band and choir.
In choir.
And
Yeah, I'm
you're
focusing a lot on
focusing on
choir at the moment. Yeah. Curses.
you were mentioning that for concert band it's more pedagogical, and
Choir's
choir
kind of
was
where they're at.
where they're at. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's it. I also very much try. No, I not very much try. We do sing at least one song that's in a different language. It is important that kids recognize that English is not the center of the world, and so that is also another striving point in my choices for pieces that we perform. At least, again, I'm focusing a lot also on the Wind Chain Spring concerts, but
Yeah.
again, choir and band focused.
Yeah. I find it difficult for me, coming from that conservatory background, which I know all of us have experienced at one point or another. Like there's something like a concert and a performance, and in my mind, those are two different things. And I feel that I struggle sometimes with a performance or a concert has to be perfection. It is not, it cannot be a work in progress. But in our classrooms, we have such limited time with our students, it almost seems impossible, especially if Jonathan, you're on one system, I'm on a different system, Jasmine, your school, like all of our breaks are different. And sometimes the concert happens or the performance happens in December. Sometimes it happens in November. Sometimes it's happening in March. It can be really challenging to be like, all right, we're just putting this on the stage and I'm gonna let this go, and I'm okay if things are questionable. That can be a really, really hard thing. So when you keep saying like I keep talking about these ensembles, I think it's just naturally easier because we have probably all played in ensembles at some point. It's easy to just default to that.
I get that. I feel like I have a little bit of an Orff guilt because Orff is we talk about Orff versus the conservatory approach so much because they do oftentimes clash, but also the expectations of what the parents and admin want may not always correlate with the Orff style. Also, I've shared this many times, this notion that metal has memory, and I often still feel very much attached to the ways I was taught. Even though I try to bring Orff to the center in my general class, I try. A lot of my showcases don't always reflect that, and I feel bad.
Yes.
Honestly, I generally feel bad because I feel like especially since I really resonate with the spirit of Orff, I want to showcase that, but I don't enough.
I understand that Orff guilt of I teach one way, and then what I'm putting on the stage isn't always aligning with the way that I taught. So for me, I'm trying to be very, very conscious of that this year, and it's okay if products aren't finished because kids are messy, and this is chaotic harmony. So why would we kind of go through that? So I have a quick question, kind of going off topic for both you, Jasmine, and Jonathan. So Jasmine, you mentioned that teachers are kind of driving some of your performance decisions. And Jonathan, you mentioned your principal was driving kind of those decisions. Would you say that those are the main driving factors on when and how you do performances? Or is there an expectation of them, I guess is my actual question.
I say not really an expectation. I think like my families really appreciate it when there's a performance, but if there isn't one, like a lot of them are like, okay, sounds
Yeah.
good, Mrs. Mott. But I think it's also like a lot of times I often like send videos or I send like monthly communications. This is what we're working on. This is what we like, just so you have like a sneak peek just in time for the concert. So I think for a lot of the families that I communicate with, or even like the teachers, like when they hear about things, they're like, "That's great," but it's not necessarily like a you need to be doing these concerts at these times. Like the
Right.
expectation that you have 4 concerts a year. Like, no, not really on my end, but it's just like I think a lot of the teachers have seen me when they're like, "I really enjoyed last year's performance when you did this. Can we have something similar? Or can we try this?" And there's a lot of like experimentation, I think is more like it.
It sounds like there's a lot of trust within your school community of you as an educator as well.
Mhm. And I really appreciate it because a lot of times, like, even if I talk to them and I'm like, I don't know if this is feasible in a month. Like, I don't know if I could teach 6 songs in a month. I don't know about that. Like,
Wait, why
I
not?
only see them twice a week. Like,
Excuses,
so
Jasmine. Excuses.
I know I'm trying with the time I have, but they've been very understanding of it. And sometimes we try and think of like compromises. Oh, maybe not 6 songs. Can we try 3 songs? I can get that
Right.
in this time limit.
Mhm.
Or let's talk about, and it's very interesting because I try and talk about it with the students as well. Or I'm like, where do you all feel on this? Because I've had like choirs, like my last year's choir was only 6 students,
Oh, wow.
so they didn't want to perform in the
Fair.
gym, which I'm like, I totally understand. They're like, can we just have a small performance for our families in the music room? So they
Mm.
literally decorated my room full of snowflakes and all these things for our
Aw.
winter concert. They wrote all of their lyrics in case they forgot
Oh, wow.
and put it in the back of the
Cool.
wall, like wallpaper, and then like set up the risers and everything. So then like we try and find those ways to make sure that the students feel comfortable to perform as well.
Mhm.
I like that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I to your question as far as my principal, no, my principal kind of established, my first principal established that she wants performances. And there was definitely early on in our career, when we first started in Chula Vista, just this necessity that we need to advocate for for our jobs. Um, like, visibility is advocacy. Our first VAPA coordinator, Lauren Shelton, which you can listen to episode 0 for, she really tried to push this notion of advocacy, and I was all for that. You know, I was jumped on Twitter, rest in peace Twitter, and we're like just like showcasing. We're just showcasing what are we doing in the classrooms, and even more so, what are we doing like in a more tangible, not tangible way, in front of masses of people in a performance setting. Um, and so that was kind of the driving factor. It's like if the district doesn't support us, then like it doesn't matter if, at least my mindset, it doesn't matter if we learn ta ta di ta ta. It's like this all falls apart. So like from that point, I kind of like I guess I just established that we need to have performances constantly, and
Mhm.
also it's fun. I also have
Yeah.
this there's a high after performance, whatnot, or there is a low where I'm on the floor just like dead, but maybe both. But there's definitely it's just kind of established my own rhythm as I'm now at year 11. Like this is what we're doing, and to the point where like now that we have our theater teacher, we're gonna do a musical. Like I guess it's an expectation for that we set for ourselves.
Mhm. What's the musical?
Moana, Moana Junior.
Cute.
Hmm.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah.
cute.
Well, my next question was going to be about like the reason why we have performances, and you touched on something that I really believe that performances provide, which is the advocacy piece, because people don't care about things they don't know about. People care about sports because sports are everywhere, because it's televised, it's national. They can play baseball from the time that they are 4 years old, and you can watch it on television almost year round, depending on where you are. There's not the World Series of Orff ensembles.
Yet.
It's not yet.
Ooh.
If you would like to sponsor the Chaotic Harmony World Series of Orff ensembles, you can reach out to us, please.
Chaotic Harmony Classroom at gmail.com.
Oh, thank you, Jonathan. But yeah, that advocacy piece, I feel like, can be make or break for a lot of programs, especially. I'm fortunate. I know, Jonathan, you have several teachers and schools with these VAPA programs, or visual and performing arts programs, music programs. Jasmine, I know that you are in a place that has some strong presence as well. But if you're out and you're the only elementary school in the county, and there's a music teacher, being seen will help with that advocacy piece.
Mm-hmm.
People don't care about things that they don't see.
100%. And also, we exist in a rotating audience. Like the kids that I taught, 11 years ago aren't part of the community directly anymore. But also, they are now adults. They are now going to be they're going to be the parents of maybe my eventual students. And so we are essentially not just planting seeds for our admin, but we're also planting seeds for the next generation to understand what music education is about. And performance is there is something to be said about people doing an event,
Mm-hmm.
a dictated day. It's one thing to create, and creation, the process of creation I love, but it's harder to pinpoint that day of process than it is for an event. They can't point to that process, even though the process is actually more valuable. It's just not as pointable. And so having these opportunities for performances creates advocacies amongst everybody, and especially our students who are going to become adults later on. I know Mark, Crystal, Zoe, and I talked from the very beginning about they just don't know. Parents and admin just don't know. We had no arts in Chula Vista for 35 years, and it created a whole generation of people who, unless they were privileged enough to have arts privately or went to a specific school where they had it, they just don't know what it is. And so performances gives this ability for kids to be adults, to look back and have positive memories.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Jasmine, do you have any, reason, besides advocacy or adding on to that you think it's important that our schools have performances and our communities can experience those?
Other than advocacy, I think it also gives students a community, or that sense of belonging somewhere where it's oh, I know a lot of my students, when it comes to performances, a lot of the younger grades come in and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're the one who's playing the saxophone, you're the one who's playing trumpet." I see a lot of students take that on as part of their identity, where they're like, "Oh yeah, and this is my section, this is a group, this is a community I'm a part of," and people recognize that. Because I think families are really proud. I have a lot of parents who are like, "Oh, I was in band before, and I remember that's where I met my closest friends," or that's where I really got over stage fright. Because there's a lot of anxiety when it comes to performing, that I think having informances or even group performances really help with, because it's you're not the only one up there, but you're slowly having that experience.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I like that. Something you said specifically. Oh yeah, the bonding element, whether it's a performance or performance. We just had our variety show, and the stage crew. So it's all student run, our variety show, and the stage crew. During the intermission, there was a moment where this is kind of weird, but it's creating this bonding. They decided to go outside and drinking sodas, and just we're I didn't ask for this, and they're being safe, but okay,
they're getting ready.
Hey, producer Marc here. We had some technical difficulties, so we're going to fast forward in the episode, but enjoy this still image of these wonderful faces.
I have one more question, and that is like, what advice or guidance or words of wisdom would you give to a new teacher or someone who is trying to create more performance opportunities for their students, maybe who's never done it before or looking to go in a different direction? What would you say to them, or how would you guide them? I'll be taking notes so I know it. Yeah.
Think I would set up your rehearsals just like the performance is gonna be. Like whenever I teach any of my ensembles or even any of my groups, like I just make sure that like however we rehearse is exactly how the performance is gonna like I'm planning the performance to be. Because then it's less of like this is a new place, this is a new way of doing things, like this is a change from everything Miss Ma has been teaching. And it's, oh, okay, so we're just doing what we've been doing for this past month or months.
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of my students, it takes away the performance anxiety. I know for a lot of my students, like the fear of messing up or squeaking on their instrument is like the end all be all. But then, like, all through my classes, if they squeak, I'm like, oh, let's just check your read and see what's happening. And I treat it like everyday things. I'm not like, oh my gosh, you squeaked. And I think that helps a lot more with performances, especially when those things happen. Like if a reed breaks, they're like, oh, I just need to switch it up really quick. And they're quick to tell me during a concert. And like I even tell like the families, I'm like, oh, we just have some technical difficulties. Just gotta switch a reed real quick before we have our soloists come on. And like I know families are very supportive, like no matter what's going on, like they're not gonna be looking like listening in and being like, your flautist was 15 cents sharp. I don't know about that. Like I think they're happy that like their children are up there and the families like present are just there to support, and that's something I try to really make clear. And I think it's great when you let your students know like they don't like they're here for you. They're not here for perfection, because I feel like some students do get in that mindset.
Oh, 100%. I know at my site, at my school, many of my students are athletes outside. They play either travel soccer or they're playing, youth soccer. They're playing baseball, softball. They're playing so many sports. And for them, making a mistake there seems very big, right? Because it kind of is just you making a mistake. But when they come into my class, I've noticed like they'll say, "Oh, it's okay. Mistakes are great." Because I'm always like, "Oh, you're learning. I can tell you're learning because you're making mistakes and getting better." And that skill of I can move forward from a mistake in a safe setting with multiple people. That's amazing. And I feel that students, kids appreciate when adults can admit when things are wrong because they know, but they are like looking to the adult for confirmation. And if the adult isn't upset, it's like, oh, I don't need to be worried about this.
I like that. Yeah. I think for me, I remember something that Marc said back in the day. He always shared, just try one thing. And I think as teachers, I liked what Jasmine shared because it focuses a lot on the student. And I think and the apprehensions a student might have. I think there are a lot of apprehensions a teacher might have as well. And I think they might feel like, oh, it has to be perfect. Maybe they didn't have a reinstill it like Sasha does to her kids. But like it's, I mean, also if you're concerned about the notion of advocacy and it's like, oh, if this thing fails, then the district's going to cut my program. It's like, it could happen, sure. But like in the end, it doesn't have to be massive. It doesn't have to be huge. Actually, Marc and Lauren, I remember Marc always said, just do one thing new. And Lauren, her share was just keep it simple. Make it simple and have just have a place so that they can showcase their art. It does not have to be a Bach cantata. It does not have to be a full-on fugue. It's like, I remember Michael Gray, he shared once how he tried once doing that. It was kind of successful, but it didn't really exactly yield any better for the kids. Like, they performed, but was there an attachment? No. So just like, it doesn't have to be massive. It could be simple. Hot cross buns with improvisation. That sounds good.
Classic.
And it doesn't have to be the whole school. Excuse me. It doesn't have to be the whole school. Just one grade level. Maybe just one group. But keeping it simple is a good thing.
I completely agree, because at the end of the day, you as the leader and the educator in the room have to facilitate that.
Mm-hmm.
So don't make your job harder than it needs to be. If you have to do one performance, do one performance. Start small. I think yeah.
Now it's time for me to listen to my own advice and
All right.
Jonathan,
this is your conscience speaking. You need to do less. All right. Well, everybody, we are going to be back after the break with a slightly different version of Spiccato.
Hey, we just want to take a quick moment to shout out Mission Trails Financial, the partner making this show possible at no cost to you. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by financial planning, you're not alone. But Mission Trails Financial is here to make things simpler. They offer tailored financial advice for you, from investments to tax and insurance planning, with a team of experienced fee-based advisors who are CFP designated and fiduciaries. That means they're putting your best interests first. Let's face it, navigating the world of finances can feel like drinking from a fire hose, with endless options for investments just a mouse click away. But Mission Trails Financial aims to cut through the noise by breaking things down into clear, actionable steps while providing regular updates. Mission Trails Financial believes everyone has the right to work with a financial advisor, regardless of how much you've saved. Mission Trails Financial's focus is building a relationship so you are not traveling your financial path alone. They even help you keep track of old 401ks when you're transitioning between jobs, because your financial future should always stay on track, no matter what changes. So don't wait. Let Mission Trails Financial show you how to make that next step towards the future you've worked hard for. Plus, your first consultation is absolutely free. Just visit missiontrailsfinancial.com or call 619-419-0238 today. You'll be glad you did, because leaning on professionals like Mission Trails Financial is how we get ahead. Check out the program notes for more details. Advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors LLC, a registered investment advisor.
All right, we're going to be back with Spiccato in a moment. But thank you all so much for being part of this nearly 7-year journey. Whether you joined us with episode 0 with Lauren Shelton or you're just new today, thank you. It means so much to have you join us. And if you want this journey to continue, please support the things you love. We have a Patreon. Patreon.com/CHClassroom, where you can get special merch and other things for the class. We are revamping it. We've said for a bit that we'll be ready in a couple weeks, and we will. Things have happened, so let's just say it's on the horizon. With that, if you don't have a coin to toss our way, that's okay, but there are a few ways you can support us. Leave us a review on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts. And you know the drill. It's 5 stars only, people. That is the only acceptable thing. You can count to 4. I know you can count to 1 more. That's 5. To add, if you leave a written review, we'll read it on the podcast. People, we only have a few. Come talk to us. We're not unfriendly. Follow us on YouTube and the socials. Leave this episode a like and write a nice comment, and all these things can help to ensure that the mics and lights stay on. Okay, so for Spiccato today, I have something a little bit different. I don't have an item, but since we've been talking about performances, my question to you, my Spiccato to you is, if you could have any type of performance with your students, anything at all, what would it be? I know John in the past, for those of you who don't know, he had his students perform with, not Smash
Switchfoot.
Mouth, Switchfoot. So close.
Smash Mouth. Oh, gosh.
Okay, but that's like S.
I'm like, whoa.
That's like
Smash
S.
Mouth?
Smashing
okay.
Pumpkins?
Switchfoot, which is a local San Diego band.
Mm-hmm.
Grammy
Award winning.
Grammy Award winning. not to be confused with Smash Mouth, which was in Shrek. So, if you could do any type of performance at all, like no boundaries, what would it be?
Who would it be with, or what would it be, or
Anything.
if I could have a performance. Oh, I have thought of this before. So last year, I went to the Country Music Association's Music Teacher of Excellence event,
Because
where
you were recognized at this event.
Yes.
Sorry, you were recognized at this event.
Thank you. But I was there specifically, it was a wonderful, amazing event. Because first off, you had an organization that has the funding to make a really cool night to celebrate music teachers. And was there student performances? I know there were a lot of performances. I think there were was there a student showcase? Mr. Producer, was there a student showcase? He's nodding. There was, but it was a really cool night for music educators. And I was like wondering, like, what if we had that for like the West Coast? But like, what if it's in country music? What if it's the video game awards? Like having you have video game awards, which then siphons money towards music education. Same kind of like music teacher event for that. And so having kids perform at that event. Is there sound coming through of like my B? I live by a busy street, y'all. So yeah, what if my students, other students around the district, performed at this event, which celebrated teachers, and kind of was like the West Coast version of the CMA MTOE. And I also kind of want to blend in because like I've shared before, I really like video game music, like having that blend, whatnot, and performing pieces. Also, kids, I don't know if you know this, but kids like video games, mainly Fortnite and Roblox. But and so yeah, what if we had like a night that kind of like mixed those two? That's kind of where my brain is going. Celebrate music teachers, have kids perform, getting all them good stuff.
All right, let's make it happen, people.
Make it happen.
Make it happen. We're giving you free ideas. Make this happen.
We're manifesting them.
Manifesting it. You heard it here on Spiccato. All right, video game teacher awards.
That
With kids
so
performing.
cool.
With kids performing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's level it up, and the video games are things that the kids have designed.
Oh shoot!
Oh,
we can do that at a high school level.
Composition style. That would be crazy. But
So you know,
sounds so cool.
We mentioned before the break, I need to do less, but
you need to.
But I first need to get married. That's step ahead.
Okay. That can be in our 5-year plan.
3-year plan.
4.
Okay, I'll meet you halfway. Jasmine,
3.5. That's like, oh my gosh! When you said that, I was like, I want to change mine to that. What the heck? Like, because honestly, like things I've been thinking of was even like if it could be anything, I was like, I would love. I'm just a big fan of Bruno Mars, and Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I would just love for my students to go and perform with them. But it's just like, I know even like in Davis, there's this lovely video game orchestra where I'd love for like my students to have a performance with modern music or really have like a big old showcase. If I had I was like, I wish I would have the energy to like put all that together, but I was like, there's so much that goes into those kinds of things. But because I know at least the video game orchestras in Davis that I wanted to like contact, like they have like this whole big ol' screen and they'll do like gameplay videos, like someone's playing the game while the music's going on. And I'm like, oh, that would be so awesome. Cool to have that as like a performance. So when you mentioned video games teacher, like that whole festival, I was like, and then Sasha mentioned like making games. I was like, whoa, so you're making the games. People are playing them. Wow. The orchestra is like making the music for it. I was like, that would be really cool.
That would be so cool.
Okay, help me out. Bad Bunny, Bruno Mars, your kids. What's the order?
All together.
Oh, all together?
Yeah.
We could do a final
All of
piece.
them.
But like every single song. Oh shoot. Okay,
Yep.
okay.
I was
Sasha.
like,
Yeah. No, we're dreaming big here. Okay, so mine's not as big, but for those of you who may not know, my partner, my
Hot cross
husband,
buns, right?
yeah, hot cross buns. That's it.
we love it. We
In
love
every
it.
in every single mode on every single recorder.
Ooh.
See,
Just kidding.
and then
this.
imagine Bad Bunny, Bruno Mars, hot cross buns.
Bow, 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 bow.
They're gonna be so hot. Because like hot beats. I'm so sorry. Like the beats are hot. My bad.
This is what happens to Spiccato, huh?
Okay.
So back to your story, Sasha. I cut you off.
That's okay. My husband is a high school music director and runs the percussion program at the school that my students eventually go to, and has several of my former students in his percussion section. And I've always wanted to do like a collaboration between the high school percussionists and some of my percussionists and play like a joint piece together or something like that. At a little percussion festival. There's a one that we have in San Marcos yearly. It's in May. First weekend in May, if any percussion ensembles in Southern California want to come and participate in that. But something like that I feel like would be really cool, because for my students, it's like, hey, like this is where we can end up. We can end up here in high school and do all this. And then for the high schoolers, it could be like, remember where we started? We were playing little orp instruments, and now we're like playing all pagadas and all this stuff. So that would be like my dream performance.
That reminds me, there's an event that one of my feeder high schools does. It's very similar, but they call it a playathon, where they play for 24 hours.
Oh.
Like they just
Oh,
straight,
wow.
but they have like a 2-hour window where elementary students come in, and then as they come in, like they find out what instrument they play, and then they get a buddy. So that buddy's with them and like teach them like songs that are easily like 3-4 notes, because they're like, we'll take any experience, and then the high school directors get to work with them. And it's so cute that when you mention that, because like then they have a showcase after working on like practicing all this music, that the parents come in, they do like a quick showcase on what they've been working on for like a couple hours. And it's so
Amazing.
cute to see like the high schoolers talking about it, where they're like, oh my gosh, like I remember when I was struggling with these notes and these notes and these notes on trombone or something like that. And then the younger students, after like we always have like a concert review, like I bring them in, I was like, so what do y'all think? And they're like, we played the exact same, like we played high schooler music, like we played the music that high schoolers played, and it was hard, but we played it and we sounded really, really good. And it's so cool to see like those connections start forming, because then they start asking, like whenever like even this year there's a few students who attended when they're in 4th grade, and they're like, I hope I get the same buddy as last year, or I hope like they're still
That's
there
good.
and I can say hi. And I was like, oh, so when you mentioned that, that's like the first thing that came to mind.
I adore that.
But it's 24 hours?
I think so, yeah.
Wow. I'm sorry for those performing at 4 a.m. Shoot.
Is it a fundraiser?
I think so. Yeah, it's a fundraiser.
That's pretty.
So they'll be like marching. They have like a carnival going on. It's really cute.
Wow, commitment. Davis does it different.
Davis do it different.
Oh, it's Sacramento, not Davis. I don't know if
well.
Davis does anything similar.
Just kidding. Sacramento does it different. I'm so sorry, y'all. Well, thank you so much for spending this afternoon with us. Or morning or evening, if depending on when you're listening to this.
Or 4 a.m.
Or 4 a.m. because you just finished your trombone quartet at this fundraiser that was playing for 24 hours, and you really want to be a music teacher, and this is the podcast you found to do it. It's been amazing talking about all things performance, and adjacent to that, I love the advocacy pieces and the connections. Those are huge and, make a world of difference. So You, dear listener at home, tell us the type of performance opportunities that you give your students or anything like that. Drop them in the comments. Talk to us. We will talk back. You can go to our socials, CH Classroom on the socials. CH Classroom. Chaotic Harmony Classroom at gmail.com is our email. I'm going to say that again. Chaotic Harmony Classroom at gmail.com is our email. You can drop all those comments and concerns in there. If people are trying to find you, Jasmine, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram or Facebook as Jasmine Ma or Jasmine Rice Flour. Rice like the food, flour like the baking ingredient.
Woo! Jonathan.
You can find me at Mr. Seligman, MRSELIG on MAN on all is TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky. You got your options. And where can I find you, Sasha?
You can find me. I am gonna try to bring back my teacher account soon at missstone.music. That's on Instagram. I think I'm gonna bring it back for conference so that we can do a little CH fun time there. So
also to our listeners, I believe everybody in our Chaotic Harmony family, which has grown quite massively, will be at conference. So do reach out, do say hello. We'll be taking pictures, chatting with people. We'd love to chat with you.
And if you don't know what conference is,
Conference, AOSA conference. It is something that happens every single year. You can listen to earlier episodes. We've talked about conference every single year on Chaotic Harmony. This year it's at Lexington, Kentucky. So we hope to see you there.
see you in Kentucky if you're gonna come and say hi. And thank you again for being here with us. The time has come for us to say goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh no! What happened?
You
we lost you.
We lost
You're on the Patreon.
Soap.
Soap.
I don't know.
Oh no.